We're here.
Hello and welcome to another edition of 5-Star Broadcast. I'm Andy Peck.
And I'm Angelo Parenti.
And we have a unique setup this time. His neighbor is doing construction, so it's kind of noisy, so we're in Angelo's living room.
Yeah, maybe you guys will like it more. Let us know. Definitely more comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, way more comfortable. We got a couch to sit on and stuff, so. But let's get right into it, and we're going to start off with Paul Heyman and his client, Brock Lesnar, that conquered the streak. Did you know that Paul Heyman's client, Brock Lesnar, conquered the streak?
I know. I mean, it's fun. It's funny. I just feel bad for Cesaro at the moment, just because, I don't know. It's like you see, for instance, did you see SmackDown?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're having the debate or whatever between Zeb and Heyman, and it's supposed to be about Cesaro and Swagger, and I get it. Like, I get what Paul Heyman's doing, but I mean, I think sometimes it should just be like, when he's with Cesaro, most of what he's doing should be for Cesaro, and like, you just see Cesaro standing there, and it's like, okay, what am I doing here? You're not talking about me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I know we've been talking about it in that group, and Matt hates on Paul Heyman and what he's doing, and I understand that, but like, I guess he's just trying to keep Brock Lesnar relevant, and it's like, Brock only works a certain amount of dates per year, and Paul Heyman only gets a certain amount of TV time, so he needs to keep Brock Lesnar fresh in people's minds and remind them that, it's only been 2 weeks since WrestleMania, so he needs to remind them that Brock Lesnar has, in fact, beaten the streak and, keep that relevant. But, again, I see where, everybody's coming from with Cesaro, too.
I mean,
it sucks for him.
I like what Paul Heyman's doing. I think he's, like, whenever he talks, like, everybody listens, and, he's not scared to say what he wants to say. He's a good, heel manager. And even though it gets a little confusing because I think Cesaro is he there with it. If he's with Paul Heyman, should he be a heel? But like he's more of like the fans like him. So I just hope Cesaro, doesn't fall back, because I thought there was a push coming for him.
And I think there still will be a push for him. We actually got a question on Twitter. They asked, they want us to discuss Cesaro, his place as a face or a heel right now, and where we think he's going to land. And like you said, he's kind of like, the fans are cheering for him, but he's teamed up with Paul Heyman, and he's going against a bunch of heels, so it is kind of a gray area right now.
I think he's going to stick to a babyface, because I don't think the fans are going to root against him. And I mean, it's like Paul Heyman's a heel when he's with Brock, but when he's with Cesaro, I think he, it's hard to see Paul Heyman as a babyface, but especially the way he pipe bombs in the ring and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think it really boils down to who Cesaro feuds with after Swagger. Like, if he moves on to a program with somebody that's a heel, then we'll know that, he's going in the face direction. But right now, I'm going to say that he's going to go as a heel leading out of this feud with Cesaro, or Swagger.
Yo, another thing. I saw you weren't too happy with his theme, but on SmackDown, I think they went back in and edited a little bit. Like, before it was just like that siren and there was nothing behind it. Yeah. Maybe it was just because it's like, like some wrestlers, they have their entrance when they come out, but when they win, like, they started at a different point. Yeah. Well, when he won and the match was over, like, it was more full and came in, but we didn't see him come out to the ring, so I don't know what they're going to do about that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to make tweaks and stuff, but it was just like, it was just like a siren, and that was it, really.
Yeah, there was definitely, like, it was like there was the siren, but there was stuff behind the siren, so I guess we'll see if we see him on Monday night.
I don't know, for him, he's not like, it's kind of generic to just give him a siren, like.
Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, but moving on, part of what's coming out of the Swagger-Cesaro feud was Swagger costing Cesaro his shot in the Intercontinental title tournament, which I've been impressed with so far.
Yeah, I thought all those matches have been like good matches on Raw, and I was actually surprised by that. I didn't really expect. I thought Cesaro was the whole point was.
Yeah.
But then, like, when it happened, you were like, oh, so now there will be a feud there.
But what I don't understand is they haven't set up a match between the two for, like, Extreme Rules. I thought that would be the payoff.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. Like, yeah, maybe it's not, like, the biggest match, but, I mean, there's a feud that could be built up, and why not? It's not like Extreme Rules is the biggest pay-per-view of the year, so put a good match on there.
And, I mean, that feud, to me, is more important than Rusev taking on R-Truth and Xavier Woods.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll figure out something, because Cesaro he's not even on the card.
No, I think maybe
they'll do a mixed tag match.
So, like, Cesaro and Heyman?
Because
that would be interesting.
Because on SmackDown, those two were getting into it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see something on Raw tomorrow night. And yeah, we're filming this before the final Raw, before the pay-per-view. So if anything gets added, that's why we're saying this now. But yeah, maybe that'll happen. That would be cool.
What are your thoughts on Final 2?
I'm surprised that RVD, like you said, made it this far. I thought it was going to be Cesaro and Wade Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like you said, it makes sense that Cesaro got his chance spoiled by Swagger.
I think it's good in a way, because I mean, we know RVD only comes in for a certain amount of days, but at least they're not like, they're making. We talked about this one of the previous episodes, how we don't think RVD's ever going to be, a world champion, but at least they're not making him like a squash guy. Like, they're putting him up in at least the Intercontinental title picture.
Yeah, and they built him up well in this tournament. He's had some good matches, and I think him versus Barrett is going to be a good match again, and I definitely think Barrett's going to win. He's been like,
all of a sudden, you were always like, when is he going to start having matches?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are behind on this. I was reading in the back.
I read at the Hall of Fame ceremony, it was actually what put him over. Like when he came out and did his Bad News Barrett spiel at the Hall of Fame, that won a lot of the, I guess, higher-ups over. And that's what, is getting him that push now. But so good for him. And he worked the gimmick.
Yeah, and I mean, when I think like one of his first televised match back was at the Raw after WrestleMania. And the crowd was really behind him.
Yeah, that was.
But I was like, okay, maybe it's just because it's the Raw after WrestleMania crowd.
Yeah.
But they've been behind him since then, so we'll see.
I think that crowd definitely lays the landscape for the rest of the crowds for the rest of the year, at least for the next few weeks and months after.
Definitely.
Because you got the Wyatts, they're starting to get over as a face. Well, not as a face, but they're starting to get over as a team with the crowd, singing along with Bray Wyatt and everything that he does.
Speaking of that, what do you think about the Wyatts as baby faces?
I like them. I never want to see them turn face.
Me neither.
But I'm reading reports saying that the Wyatts are going to turn face and the Shield are going to turn heel again in a few months from now. And they always want to keep those two teams polar opposites so that they could eventually, keep going back to that match.
It's so, crazy because it's we were a couple weeks, I don't know if it's a couple months, not a couple, but we're thinking that the Shield was going to break up.
Yeah.
Now it's they're not breaking up, but they're turned into baby faces. So then you were like, okay, after that, maybe they'll break up.
Yeah.
But now it seems like, okay, we're just going to switch them back and forth.
Yeah.
Which I love the Shield. I don't, if they break up or not, it doesn't, I'm fine with them being together. Especially now they're in the main event picture. But yeah, I'm kind of confused a little bit between this whole Wyatt Cena thing, because it's just after Extreme Rules, where does it go from there? Because I don't think Cena's going to turn heel.
No. Unless
WWE throws a swerve at us, but I can't see it. Because this whole, having Bray Wyatt say the crowd is turning on him, I mean, Cena better explain yourself about that.
Yeah, and it's not even just Bray Wyatt that's saying it. Like, I was watching the pre and post show for Raw, and even the commentators and announcers there are saying, like, the fans are starting to turn on Cena. So it's like, what are they doing? Are they making it so that it's on TV okay for people to hate John Cena?
Or they're just going to do this and then give John Cena another, like, superhero moment, and then the crowd is right in his corner again.
I really hope they don't have, like, a big superhero moment at Extreme Rules where it's something where John Cena overcomes Bray Wyatt once again. I really hope Bray Wyatt gets the win here.
Hopefully.
Because, I mean, if John Cena wins again, that kind of diminishes the value of the Wyatt family, like, and, I don't know, potential matches in the future against the Shield and stuff would be bad. But, I don't know.
Well, we'll move on. Speaking of the Shield versus Evolution.
It's interesting.
Do you still think it's going to be a War Games match?
No. I think it's too far gone. I think if that was going to happen, they would have hyped it up more.
I'd like to see, just in the matches at Extreme Rules, like a little more stipulations to these matches.
Yeah, I was looking through as I was, putting this together with the card and everything, and there's like no stipulations. We have an Extreme Rules match with the world title match, and we have a cage match, and I guess a handicap match can be considered extreme, but it's going to be a squash match. So
yeah, that.
But yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to see some stipulations be added to it.
Hopefully,
tomorrow on Raw.
hopefully, but if not, it's like that's like when there was like Night of Champions and only like 2 belts were being defended or something like that.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see it. I guess to see Evolution and the Shield. I keep hearing about Ric Flair coming back tomorrow night, even though I don't think he's gonna fight or anything. But
it'll be interesting to see what he does, if he sides with Evolution or if he tells them, hang it up.
Yeah, but they've been building it up pretty good on Raw and SmackDown. It's like Evolution got over on Raw, Shield got over on SmackDown, so
I liked what they did on SmackDown with Shield,
it was
too,
really
where they were going and taking out guys one by one, or in the case of 3MB, they were taking all 3 of them out at once, and that was fun. It was a cool moment to see them just, outsmart the Authority and Triple H.
Yeah, definitely, and they were like, they even beat the crap out of Brad Maddox.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool. We'll see what Triple H has to say about that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? What are we moving on to next?
How much time do we have left? I don't know. Should we wrap this one up, or?
Yeah, we'll wrap this one
up. We're a little off. This setting's throwing us off. The construction's throwing us off. So.
But yeah, we're out of time. We're out of here.
See ya.